and likely some strong winds. There's when we got the tornado warning about 8:12, and it's because that rotation flared up as it moved over the GSP airport and then moved into southern Spartanburg County. Right in there at about 8:05, 8:10, this cell started to rotate. I'm going to turn on the velocity right here and turn this back to about that same time, and you can see where this storm has gone and where it's come from. As you can see, it moved right over the GSP airport, and then right there is when you started to get some rotation as that cell started to wrap around. You can see the reds going away from the radar site there at GSP as I turned on GSP and Live Super Doppler 4 HD, and the strong signature of the winds going toward the radar site. The greens right there. So that's where we had that tornado warning shortly after 8 o'clock that went till 8:30. And that's where we stand right now. As this cell is still rotating, it's just not rotating at the surface, which is certainly some good news, but one to watch closely over the next hour or so. So, golf ball sized hail has been the story across Spartanburg County. I'm going to pull up my phone right now and see what you guys have to say here across Spartanburg County. Watching that closely here as this has produced some very large hail and at times has rotated for us. So that's the concern to me, is that as we move forward here, we're going to see more in the way of storm action move our way, and some of those storms could be on the severe side. All right, got your comments up. So if you guys are watching now, I have the comments up. I've got the same stream that you can see on your phone, and we'll start this conversation here as so many of you are watching, and so many of you, frankly, have raw storm feelings, so to speak. This is so fresh after the amount of tornadoes that we've had here lately. I do not see this being a widespread tornado threat, not to say that we can't get one to form, but the concern moving forward tonight is going to be for heavy rain, lightning, and strong winds. Can't rule out an isolated tornado, but overall our tornado threat is on the lower side tonight. But we do have this one cell here that is, in essence, started as a pop-up storm and shower over northern Greenville County, moved through Taylors and Greer, and then as soon as it hit Spartanburg County, began to rotate right here. South of Spartanburg is where we had that warning that was along the Spartanburg-Union County line, and hail has been the strong part of this storm as it moved out of Spartanburg County into Union County. So watching this tonight, many of you are asking, will we get tornadoes tonight? What does the tornado threat look like tonight? I know so many of you, after seeing what happened in Seneca, Clemson, that severe night we had April 13th. This does not look to be the same night. In fact, there is no tornado watch for our area. There is a tornado watch for Oklahoma, parts of Missouri and Arkansas. The concern tonight is going to be from this complex that's moving across Middle Tennessee right now ahead of schedule. This was set to be in Tennessee at 10 p.m. Here it is approaching 9 o'clock. So this thing is coming in quicker, and it does look like it's going to bring us a severe wind threat as this, what we call a derecho, is moving quickly. It's an upper level system that moves state by state and can maintain its strength over a long period of time. And what we're getting right now out ahead of that is simply a pop-up storm that formed from the daytime heat. What it's doing is it's taking advantage of a very unstable environment that is around it. We've got a lot of fuel for thunderstorms out there tonight. Many supercells and strong storms in Oklahoma City, eastbound, pushing into Little Rock, pushing towards Springfield, Missouri, and the threat going into the overnight hours is in the high category back here. And then for our neck of the woods, from Nashville to Huntsville into and through the upstate, through the overnight hours, we'll have that severe threat from that upper level system. So looking at the headlines, pop-up storms this evening, we were talking about that being a possibility. We were completely dry most of the afternoon and evening, and in fact, most of us have been dry. It's been that cell over Greenville and Spartanburg counties that really flared up to be the strong one. One cell, in fact. Overnight rain and thunder becoming more likely as we go into the evening hours here. We'll watch that closely through around midnight. It'll be knocking on our door, and then a chance for more storms tomorrow afternoon. So a brand new computer model just came in. Let's map it out hour by hour as it takes us through the evening. Watching this activity out of Tennessee, there's that line that's going to try to make a run for our area. So here we are at midnight. It's a strong line approaching our area. 2 a.m. You've got these heavy rain signatures moving our way, and the brighter yellows, oranges, and reds here indicate very heavy rainfall along with some hail potential. This storm looks to track right across the upstate here around 3, 4 a.m. with some strong winds and some very heavy rainfall and a lot of lightning possible out of this cell too as it moves off toward the east. Watching this as it clears out by around 8 o'clock, and some showers certainly possible through tomorrow as a cold front begins to head our way. So watching that closely. All right, what can I help you guys answer? Now I'm going to answer your questions here. Tomorrow morning, watching it closely. I'm going to back up to the radar while we're talking here. Can you comment about Simpsonville and Five Forks? Simpsonville, Five Forks, certainly away from the severe storm right now. You're probably hearing the thunder off in the distance. Spartanburg, you're getting some very heavy rainfall yet again, but that is not a severe cell. Certainly some lightning. I'd take it easy if you're out traveling. And the good news with this cell here across Union County is it does look to be calming down the wind speeds and the hail just a bit. You're not seeing as bright of reflectivity coming back to our radar site right now at Union County, but certainly still some large hail possible with this as it moves off toward the south and east. What else do we have here? Watching North Carolina tomorrow, certainly some strong winds possible there. Can't rule out a tornado out of any of this activity both today and tomorrow, but that is not our primary threat. Our primary threat would be from the winds and the hail has been extremely strong out of this cell. Not seeing as much in the way of rotation. You see that spot right there. That's where we're still seeing some broad level rotation in the middle layers of the atmosphere. As I turn on live Super Doppler 4 HD, you can see it a little bit better. Almost a little notch right in there. So there's where there's some rotation showing up here. At the very least, some winds that are going very strong back toward the radar. Watching that closely as it moves through Union and into Newberry counties as the severe thunderstorm warning continues until it looks like 9:15 here. So watching that closely. The hail has been the big story with this cell as it moved quickly out of Spartanburg County. This track of hail at one time was up around 2.5 inches or greater. Ping pong ball sized hail out of Spartanburg County pushing toward Enoree, Duncan, south and east toward Union County. And put a track on this. This is heading quickly toward you folks in Union. Whitmire as well, putting a tracker on this. You can see the hail that's moving out of Spartanburg County pushing towards you folks in Whitmire. We'll put a track on it here for Cross Keys, Pageants Creek, Baptist Church, Sedalia, and Carver School, all at about 9:16. So watching that closely here as we're watching that. Chris commented way up towards top of my feed. My 6-year-old daughter is hanging on to your words, hoping to learn about hail. Yeah, hail is a very strong signature that we're seeing right now out of this. Of course, if there is any kind of tornado threat going into the overnight hours, we will let you know. That does not appear to be the primary threat. And in fact, while this storm is at its strongest back toward the west right here, we're not getting reports of tornadoes out of this. This is a very strong storm that's, in essence, part of its peak right now, and we're getting severe thunderstorm warnings, yes, but not getting anything in the way of turn on our radar network here. You can see what I'm talking about. We're not getting reports of tornado warnings. In fact, there's some flooding as this is trailing some very heavy rainfall, but strong winds are the main concern out of this. Getting some reports here out of Pickens County. We'll get in closer here with the potential of some strong winds right there. But this cell across Spartanburg County has been the strongest of the day so far. I'll pull up our storm reports right now, and we can see where we're talking about with this activity that has moved on through the area. Thank you guys for tuning in and for your reports that you give us, because that helps give us an idea of what we're seeing and helps us develop a forecast, in essence, to let people know what's going on out of these storms. We can look at it on the radar all day, but seeing these reports out of Duncan, 1.8 inch size hail. Duncan really got hit with some large hail, and that moved on south toward Reedville, inch-sized hail. We had Tigerville, parts of Taylors and Greer, inch-sized hail out of some areas, and then Pickens had inch-sized hail as well near the Highway 290 and 296 corridor. And turning on live Super Doppler 4 HD, as this moved on through the area. Pickens, you don't look to have even had really much in the way of storms. So really watching that closely as this storm moves into Union County. It does show me some signs that it is weakening just a bit here across Cross Keys, Union. Still some very heavy rainfall, and I'm going to turn the lightning on. This is a very electrical storm. And notice the lightning strikes well away from the cells themselves. So you don't necessarily have to be seeing rain to get the lightning. It can be well removed from the rain itself. So that's why if you hear thunder, it's best to go indoors to watch out for that. So watching all this activity closely as it pushes toward the south and east, and then watching closer this activity back toward Tennessee. Active tornado watch for parts of Oklahoma, Missouri, and Little Rock. I do see us going under a severe thunderstorm watch tonight. That would be issued by the Storm Prediction Center for this activity that's moving out of Nashville. This will make a run for our area around the midnight time frame, and that brings with it some very heavy rainfall. And that's where you see the new severe threat that does include the upstate, western North Carolina, back through North Georgia in the medium category here. Weather headlines, some pop-up storms this evening, certainly still possible as this activity continues to move on through. Overnight rain and thunder looking more likely, and then afternoon storms possible again tomorrow with this activity that's going to come in along a cold front that moves our way. So here are the storms over our area right now. This activity moving out of Nashville, quickly heading toward our area between midnight and 4 a.m. Very heavy rainfall, some thunder and lightning associated with this. One of those nights you'll probably hear the thunder almost every other hour or so as this moves on through. And then tomorrow we'll clear out, see mostly cloudy skies, but with the sun shining through from time to time, there is the potential that we do warm up close to 80 degrees again. That would mean our atmosphere would be very unstable going into tomorrow and give us a chance for more severe weather tomorrow afternoon into the evening hours. So the severe weather risks going into the overnight hours, our strong winds and our hail being the primary threat. The tornado threat is not zero, it's low, but it's not zero. These storms are tapping into some very unstable atmosphere across the area, but we don't have a tremendous amount of wind shear. We do have a lot of instability, though. 76 right now in Pickens, at 76 in Clemson, 69 in Asheville. Tomorrow morning when you're getting out and about, it's going to feel a little bit muggy out. It will be cooler in the northeastern part of the area here for parts of Rutherfordton, Gaffney, and Spartanburg, upper 50s, and hour by hour tomorrow we do warm up into the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. I think the northern part of the area having a chance at being wedged in with cool air, and that boundary sometimes can be the most dangerous part of these storms because as a front moves through, we'll see the potential of this being a boundary that could give us a focus for some of those thunderstorms to form on. The cooler air to the north, the warmer air to the south. So we'll watch that closely through tomorrow afternoon and evening with the potential of more severe weather. So tomorrow is an impact day, which means that some strong storms are possible. It doesn't look widespread, but certainly something we'll watch closely. 76 for a high, 69 on Wednesday. Now, cooler air is going to be the big story moving forward. Beyond that, we'll get some showers Friday, and then going into Saturday and Sunday, a much cooler weekend. Now keep in mind our normal high for this time of the year is right at 77 degrees. As we go into Saturday, I'm seeing it being about almost 10 to 15 degrees cooler than normal. For Mother's Day, Sunday, wow, look at that, 39. 39 the low at GSP. As you go up toward western North Carolina, I've got an impact day for Mother's Day because I am looking at a freeze. And that does look to be a concern for area farmers. I know my dad is concerned about frost. I don't think a frost is as likely. We'll still see some pretty stout winds there, so that should mitigate the threat for widespread frost. But I do see a freeze being likely across the Asheville-Hendersonville area, right at 31 or 32 degrees. And then we do warm things back up going into early next week. So as conditions warrant tonight, you bet we will be letting you know as we continue to watch this cell over Union County. The good news, it does look like it's weakening just a bit. However, that rotation is still there in the middle parts of the atmosphere. If anything looks like it's threatening, of course, we'll cut into programming on WYFF 4 and here online. We'll keep you posted, folks. Stay tuned.